Hi, Jamie. Thank you so much for being with me here today.
Yay! I'm honestly so excited to teach this class and share this presentation because I think it's so needed right now. So thank you for having me.
It is. And honestly, like when it comes to Instagram, when it comes to online marketing stuff, you are just such a blessing to have in the industry because I know you've taught so many people about Instagram, their strategy specifically for hairstylists. And I feel like now is the perfect time to be talking about this. So really, from the bottom of my heart and for everybody who's watching, like, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think right now there's so many questions buzzing around like, should I post? What should I post? How often do I post? Like there's just so many unknowns right now.
Yeah.
And so in this class, we're going to dive through all of that. So
Yeah. Okay. So before we jump in, Jamie's got like a whole presentation. She's so prepared. I absolutely love it. Before we jump in, can you just, for anyone who doesn't know who you are, can you just kind of quickly introduce yourself and what you do in your business?
Yeah, totally. So I am Jamie Dana, and I am a hairstylist, salon owner, and I also educate other hairstylists. And so typically what I do is I help hairstylists grow their business using Instagram. And that is something that is so needed in our industry.
Mm-hmm.
And it is honestly the best and fastest way to grow your clientele as a hairstylist using social media. So
Yeah.
that's what I do. I've been a hairstylist for the last 10 years, and I actually gave up my clientele about 2 years ago to go full-time into education. So now I'm full-time and I educate other stylists and salon owners through my online programs and YouTube and all of the things. So yeah.
Yeah, you're awesome. Okay, so tell us like just one last question before we jump into the presentation. Like,
Yeah.
what kind of things have you been seeing with the coronavirus crisis that's going on? Like, how have hairstylists been reacting? Like, what have you seen in your community of what's changed?
Yeah. So I've seen, like I kind of mentioned a little bit, like I just see so much uncertainty of like,
Mm-hmm.
what do I do? How do I show up online? And so I think that because it's almost this like awkward, maybe a little bit of a sensitive time, how do I show up? And so we're going to be diving in and tackling all of that,
Yeah.
but I'm going to make sure to dispel any kind of questions that you've had on how do I show up and all of those awkward questions that you might have in your back of your mind. We're going to be talking through all of that.
Yeah, it is kind of
Yes.
like a weird period of like, we know we need to change stuff. We know we can't just
Right.
like go back to how we were doing it before, but it's kind of like,
Right.
okay,
But
what do I
how?
say? Yeah, how do
Yeah.
I say it? Like, how much is too much? Or,
Mhm.
okay, so I love that you have all of this good information waiting for us. Without further ado, go ahead and share your screen with us.
Okay, so let me switch it over here. Okay, awesome. So you should see to post or not to post why your Instagram strategy is still important during this time. Can you see my screen on your end?
Yep. Yeah, we
Okay,
can
cool.
see you.
All
Okay,
right,
perfect. Go ahead.
awesome. So in today's presentation, class, workshop, whatever we're calling it, I'm going to be showing you why or what you should be posting on Instagram for the next 4 weeks, including how to find content to reuse and repurpose to be able to continue to attract new potential clients and serve your existing audience and clients all at the same time. So if you are watching this, I know that a lot of times we watch classes or workshops and there's so many like other distractions going on. So what I want to encourage you is I want you to put your phone on silent, put it out of the room, or even just put it farther away from you so you can't reach for it. Because I know so often we go to reach for our phone and maybe we're watching a class or we're sitting there watching Netflix and we go through and get distracted with something else. So put your phone away, get rid of distractions, close the door, tell the kids to go watch a show, whatever that might be, and grab a notebook and pen. This class is going to be really in depth. And so I want for you to grab a notebook and pen. If you don't already have it, pause it right now, go grab a notebook and pen and get ready to take back control of this situation and turn it into a positive opportunity. We're going to be talking a lot about that today, and I'm excited. So I get it. Things have been really scary in the last couple weeks, and probably in the last week. No matter when you're watching this, a lot has unfolded. And in fact, things are not just happening by the day, but are happening by the hour. And so I just want to affirm that you might be feeling a lot of different emotions right now, and things really have been scary this week. So maybe you're feeling like you hadn't really been super concerned, but now after seeing the news and now after seeing all these salons closing, you're starting to worry a little bit. Maybe you're feeling a little uncertain about how this is going to affect your business in the long run. You realize that maybe your salon's closed, or Maybe your area has been shut down and you're like, how is this actually going to affect my business in the long run? Maybe you're scared because your salon has shut down, or you were forced to stop working from the government, or your salon owner, or whatever the case might be. And maybe you're just worried about how you're going to stay afloat while you're not able to work right now. Or lastly, maybe you're just feeling overwhelmed, anxious, stressed out from everything going on, and are just trying to process how you feel. So I just want you to know that no matter how you're feeling, if you felt one of those things that I shared, or maybe you're feeling something different, I just want to be the first to say, and maybe the very first person that's ever said this to you, that your feelings are valid. Whether you're stressed or worried or scared or anxious or terrified, or even maybe feeling frozen and don't know what to do, your feelings are valid, and you're allowed to feel the way that you do, no matter how those around you are feeling. So no matter how your coworkers are feeling, or your salon owner, or your partner, or your kids, or your friends, or your family, they might be feeling a completely different way. And I just want you to know that your feelings, how you're feeling in this moment, are absolutely valid. And I want you to give yourself a little grace to process through how you're feeling, because ultimately, this has never happened before, and none of us really know how to feel right now. So I just want to allow yourself to give yourself a little grace. And ultimately, we've all had to make really hard and difficult decisions in the past couple weeks. And I want you to recognize that if you've had to make a hard decision, first off, I see you. I've had to make really hard decisions in my business. I know Stephanie has as well. And so many of us have had to make hard calls, difficult decisions that affect not only ourselves, but could affect our family, our coworkers, our stylists, whoever you have that you might have made a decision that affects them. I just want to let you know that I see you, and your feelings are valid in this point. And so I just wanted to create this class or workshop, not only to share some resources and ideas and tangible ways that you can grow your business, but I also just want to be there to share a little bit of safety, positivity, and hope in this time. Because I think right now, that's one of the biggest things that we could all use, is a little bit of hope. So before we get started, I wanted to actually do a little exercise. And I know you're watching this maybe on your phone, or maybe you're watching this with the kids running around in the background. But before we start, I actually wanted to do this exercise and have us close our eyes and take a few deep breaths. And the reason why I want to do this is so much has happened. Like we just talked about, so much has happened in the last week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, month, and a lot of things we've had to process through. And so I just want to take this moment to reset, refocus, and get ready to learn about how we can actually work on our businesses instead of just working in them. So what I want you to do with me right now is I want you to close your eyes. And I know this might feel a little weird, especially if there's other people around, and you might say, okay, I'm just going to let Jamie do this thing and I'm not going to do this. I really want to encourage you to do this with me. So even if you feel a little awkward, even if you feel a little weird, please do this with me. So close your eyes, and I want you to take a really deep breath from the bottom of your lungs. So take a deep breath in and hold that breath. Keep holding. And release. I want you to do it again. Take another really deep breath and hold. Keep holding. And release. And we're going to take this last breath together, and I want you to take as deep of a breath as you can, filling up your lungs full of life-giving air. So, and hold. Keep holding. And this time when you release, I want you to actually verbally and vocally release it on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can open your eyes. So the reason why I wanted to do that was just refocus, center ourselves, and get ready to learn. So one thing that I want you to walk away from today's class is with every problem comes an opportunity. And in fact, there have been so many amazing things that I've seen happen throughout this whole coronavirus situation that can actually be turned into opportunities. And so what I want to think about is, instead of focusing on all of the things that we can't control, there are so many things that are out of our control. I want us to focus on what we can control. So here's an example. I can't control that I'm out of the salon and not making money, but I can control how I spend my time and what I'm able to do during this break. So I want you to focus your mindset and start to shift your mindset from all of the things, all of the negative things that are happening, all of the things that we cannot control, things that are completely out of our grasp, and start to focus on, okay, what can I control in this situation? So for example, I keep getting people and stylists asking me, well, what should I do if my clients color their roots and they're going to be a color correction and all of these things? That's ultimately something you can't control. So instead, I want you to think about, okay, well, what can I control? How can I support my clients in this time? And we're going to be talking all about that. And so today, I want you to start to shift your mindset from the things that you can't control into what you can control. So there's one thing that I want you to walk away from today knowing is, things might feel uncertain and scary right now, but you can take this challenge that we've all been given and choose to do something with it to grow your business in the midst of the storm by simply showing up. And we're going to talk about why showing up is so important. So today we're going to be focusing on 3 challenges or problems you might be facing that can actually be turned into bigger opportunities. And so I'm excited to dive into these 3 challenges, and I have a feeling these are all things that you have been struggling with. So let's dive in. So challenge number 1, how do I keep supporting my clients during this time, even though I'm not in the salon? So here's the thing. We are so lucky that we get to connect with our clients outside of the salon. And in fact, people in general, and specifically your clients, want to see more positivity in their lives right now. And you are one of the people in their Instagram feed that can still add value to them in this time. So just because you're out of the salon doesn't mean that you have to stop connecting with your clients and your audience. And in fact, we typically see our clients like every 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes longer, sometimes sooner. But this actually gives us a chance to connect with them even more during this time than we normally would. And you have to remember that you don't just have your clients that follow you, but you also probably have some people that aren't your clients yet. So we're going to be talking about this as well. But you want to make sure that you're not just showing up for your clients, but for potential clients as well. And you want to make sure that you're showing up for them in this uncertain time, and show them how you're different from other stylists and salons. So I actually got this DM from one of my followers, and she basically said, I just want to tell you that I got my first brand new client that found me on Instagram. I've literally posted twice, and it's a couple that called me and said they loved how informative and proactive I am during this time. And so she had shared some resources that I had all about how to alert your clients during this time, of how to go about and what to talk about. And so she shared that. And that was something that literally she got a new client, husband and wife, from just sharing and being proactive and being informative in this time. So I just want you to have that in the back of your mind, that clients are paying attention and they are wanting to see more from you. And they don't want you just to not show up or ghost them. So here's 3 things that you need to do. And I'm going to take a sip of water as I'm going through this. So number 1, go follow your clients. So if you don't already follow your clients on your hair page or business page, go do so now. This allows you to comment and like and see what they're up to with their time off, so that you can stay connected with them and help them build up that relationship with them. So for instance, maybe your clients are homeschooling their kids or going out on nature walks or whatever the case might be, right? By you following them, you are now able to interact with them on a regular basis and keep up that relationship that you normally would have at your salon appointments. You can do that on Instagram. So that's homework assignment number 1. If you don't already follow your clients, go do so now. Number 2, don't stop posting. I think for a lot of us, it's easy just to pull away and say, well, I'm not going to post for the next couple weeks, or I don't know what to post. And so I want to ask you, you might have thought one of these things. I would love to know if you've been feeling these things. Should I post on Instagram right now? Is it insensitive to be sharing? What should I even say in my captions? And what can I post if I don't have clients right now? I'm assuming that you have had one of those thoughts fly through your head at least some point when all of this has gone down. And maybe you're still thinking that. So we're going to tackle all of these questions, like what to post, how should I be posting, what to be saying in the next section. But I want to remind you that your clients care about you too, and you don't just want to ghost them during this time. Now, when I say ghost, I mean just like peace out, not posting, I'm not going to show up. You don't want to do that. This is actually your time to show up for them. And so think about it. If you ghost your clients, like probably a lot of other hairstylists and businesses will, you are not staying top of mind to them and you're not adding value to their lives. So if you can continue to show up for them via your Instagram, you will stand out as a positive light in this dark situation. And for those potential clients, the people who aren't your clients yet, who their hairstylist has ghosted them, they are out scrolling on Instagram and they might stumble upon your page and see how you're still showing up and you're still adding value and you're still creating content for them. They are way more likely to check you out when the salons open up versus somebody who stopped posting. So in fact, people are scrolling Instagram and social media now more than ever. And in fact, I heard a stat the other day that said Facebook almost crashed because so many people are using it right now. And so people want connection. They want that positivity and they just want a little bit of normalcy in their lives. And you are one of the people that can give that to them. So number 3, reach out. So reach out to your clients via DM or text or email or whatever way you communicate with your clients and ask them if there's any way that you can be of service or support them during this time. And so it could be something as simple as recommending some different shampoos or products or even some products to cover their roots. Maybe it's the spray root touch-up stuff or offering them a root touch-up kit. Whatever feels best for your business, I want you just to reach out to them and say, hey, how can I support you in this time? It could even be a styling tutorial, which we'll talk about in a little bit, on how to hide their roots or prolong their grown out haircut. Stephanie and I were just talking about this before we got on this, about how her hair is getting long and grown out. And so what if her stylist turned to her and said, hey, here's a really great, easy way that you could style your hair so that it doesn't look flat and boring. Like that could be a really great thing that could help Stephanie feel amazing during this time. And this could even just be adding them to your reschedule notification list, asking what services they'd most likely want to get done when you do open your books again. So reach out to them. All right, so challenge number 2, I have a feeling that you have been feeling this. I don't know what to post on Instagram because it feels awkward to continue on with what I've been posting. So I know that it can feel like an awkward and sensitive time. And maybe you felt like you shouldn't be posting because it might be too insensitive. Well, I'm going to dispel that myth right now. So we talked about why you should still be posting on Instagram. But the big question of, okay, well now what to post is tricky. So I'm going to be walking you through some really great ways to find old content and create new content. But here's some content guidelines. Number 1, if you haven't talked about the situation at hand yet, you should. So here's the deal. There is a big elephant in the room. If you haven't addressed it yet, that's okay, but you don't want to stay silent. So again, just with like the ghosting thing where you're like, I'm not going to post, I'm not going to talk about it because you feel awkward, that's not okay anymore. This is a thing that has affected every single human being in the world. And so it's weird to not talk about it. So I want to encourage you to talk about it. So I'm going to give you guys some ideas on how to actually talk about this. The first one could be talk about if your salon has closed or not. I'm assuming that by now, most salons have closed. I know there's still a couple in Australia where they haven't, but for the majority of us, most of our salons have closed. So talk about how the salon has closed and you don't know when it's going to be opened up again, but that's just a really great content idea to get the conversation going. You could share how you're feeling about this whole thing. And in fact, vulnerability and transparency is so helpful in a time like this. And it allows your audience to see your heart. And I think so often we feel like our Instagrams have to just be professional and they have to just be about hair or just be about the salon. And right now, it's okay to be a little vulnerable and to be a little transparent with your audience. And you could even talk about how maybe you haven't posted because you didn't know what to post. So you could still say something like, hey, it's Jamie. I'm showing up on Instagram. I haven't posted in the last couple weeks because I honestly didn't know what to post, but I still want to show up for you and I still want to create content for you. So that could easily be a just quick caption that you could share that could literally just open up the door to you posting again. Number 2, ask your audience what they want to see from you during this time. So this is a really great way to figure out what kind of content you should be posting. Literally, go to your audience and ask them. They will give you so many ideas. So instead of just saying like, hey, what should I post during this time? Actually give them poll options to make it easier for them to respond. So here's actually a post that I did a couple weeks ago. And because I made it easy for people to respond, I had over 80 comments, and probably it's actually over 100 comments at this point because it was easy for them. So here's an example. It says, I'm curious to know what has been your struggle when it comes to posting on Instagram right now. A, finding content. B, knowing what to say. C, wondering how to address the situation. D, all of the above. Or E, other, tell me in the comments. So people could go on to my post, they could read it, they could respond really easily. A, B, C, D, E. And if they did have something else to say, they could write it out if they wanted to. But a lot of them just literally wrote down the answer. And this post actually helped me create the content for this class. So this was a really great way for me to get a little idea of what my audience needed to see. And so this could be a really great way for you to find out from your audience what they want to see. And number 3, you absolutely can still share hair photos. However, I think the captions are going to need to be a little bit different and are really important now more than ever. So instead of just posting a blonde hair balayage and saying blonde balayage, I think things like that won't really fly right now. We have to get a little bit more creative with our captions. So instead of talking about the hair like you normally would, use this time to connect a little bit deeper with your audience. So here's some caption ideas. You could start the caption with something like, is it awkward to share hair photos in a time like this? This is a question I've been going back and forth on. And then continue on with the rest of your caption, right? That could literally be something where it's like, I had a thought, I wrote it out in my caption. And it's addressing the elephant in the room. It's talking about the situation, but it's also still sharing a little bit of normalcy in people's lives. You could talk about why you love being a hairstylist and how you miss connecting with your clients. There's lots of different caption ideas that you could come up with. And I would encourage you, after you watch this class, to write down some really unique caption ideas that you could pair with your hair photos that help you still talk about the situation and allow you to still share your hair photos and content. So my biggest thing is, remember, you don't want to stop posting. This is your time to show up. So let's talk about some ways to come up with content to post, even if you feel like you have nothing left because you're not going to be in the salon. So challenge number 3, and I'm sure you've probably felt this, I don't have any content to post right now, or I'm going to run out of content since I'm not in the salon. So let's talk about some ways to find some old content. This is literally content that you already have in your phone right now that you could reuse to repost on Instagram. So first one is, go through your phone gallery, your photo gallery, and find old photos in your phone you never used. Now, chances are you probably have a ton of content in your phone and you've only used a small amount of it. So I want you to go through, and one way that you can easily organize this is you can go through your gallery and you can heart these photos or save them as your favorites. And now you have a whole album of photos you've never posted. And I think that you actually might be surprised at how many really good photos you have that you have never used. And so the other question that comes up with this is, well, I've already posted that client, or I've already shared that model's hair. Can I share them again? And yes, the answer is absolutely yes. In fact, if you go on my Instagram page, Jamie Dana Hairstylist, you will see I reuse the same model and client all the time. So yes, you absolutely can reshare the same person. And I highly would encourage you, especially because you probably have so many amazing photos that you've never shared, to go find them. Now, one little caveat with this is you don't want to share the same client, maybe side by side, and you definitely don't want to share like the same pose. So make sure that it's a little changed up. But I guarantee you that you have a lot of gold mine of content sitting in your gallery. Next one is re-edit some old photos or photos you've already posted. So here's some ideas. You could do a new crop. This could be maybe a photo that was a little bit further out and you crop it a little bit closer in, so it's now like a little bit more of a close-up photo. This could be changing your editing style. This could be a before and after side by side. So maybe you've just shared the after photo before. Now share the before and after side by side. This could be a straight versus curly side by side. This could be inspo versus hair photos. So I'm going to show you guys some examples of this from my friend Painted Hair. And she does such a good job at recirculating old content. So here's a couple photos that she has actually created. And this first one is, she's probably shared this balayage photo before and maybe even the after, but now she put them together and it's a whole new piece of content. Here's another one of the dark versus light. And again, she's probably shared these before, but she put them together. This could be a whole new piece of content. And the caption could be something like, when salons open back up, which would you do, light or dark, right? It's a great new piece of content. Here's another one, the inspo photo. And so she has probably shared all of these 4 after photos, but now she paired them together and created just a really cool, visually stunning piece of content that she could now reuse. So I want to encourage you to go onto her page, go onto other people's pages, and just start to get ideas of how you could re-edit together some of your photos. Another one could be video clips that you've never used. So if you have video clips sitting in your gallery that you never edited into a video, edit them into a full video. Or maybe you have a full video already edited, but you could take out one clip and share just that clip. It doesn't always have to be a full video. So video is amazing right now. And in fact, I have a lot of videos that I'm gonna go through and re-edit some new ones, and then also go back and pull just specific clips out. Like maybe I could do a post about purple shampoo, and I could literally show just me drizzling the purple shampoo on my client and sudsing it up. That could just be one clip where I talk about why purple shampoo is so great in a time like this, because it allows you to maintain your color at home. Something as simple as that. That's a whole brand new piece of content that I've never shared before. Another one could be dig through your Instagram stories archive to find content that could be reused as a post. And so this is actually a hidden gold mine that people never even think about. So go through your Instagram story archive. And if you're wondering how to find this, you're going to go over to your page. Then there's a little 3 bars at the top. You'll click that and you'll click into archive. And then you'll also see your post and stories archive. And your stories archive is going to be all of the Instagram stories that you have shared. And so you're going to go through there and maybe you find some video clips that you could put together into a whole video. Maybe it's you talking to the camera about a specific topic that you've talked about before. This could be even boomerangs that you share just as an individual post. Now, one thing that I will say, and a little asterisk to this, is make sure that these still look good and they are not just pasting together stuff that doesn't necessarily work. But this could be a gold mine of content. So maybe you have some behind the scenes footage that you shot for your Instagram stories. That was maybe you doing a client or a salon tour. That could literally be edited together to now create a salon tour video. So those are just a ton of ideas. I'm sure that you'll find a lot of great content in there, even just boomerangs that can actually be turned into a post. And then reuse photos that you've already posted. So I want you to know that it's okay to reuse photos. In fact, I've actually done it before on accident and intentionally. So I've reshared a photo and then I'm like, wait, have I shared that photo before? In fact, there's a photo that I literally just posted on my page a couple days ago that I'm pretty sure I've shared before, but it's been a while since I've shared it. And so it's okay to reuse photos. You just want to make sure that you're not doing them too close together. And you also want to make sure that you're changing the caption or story around it. So example could be throwback to when I did this color transformation. Something like that could be a really great way to share some old photos that you've already posted. Okay, so now let's talk about creating new content without having to be in the salon. So post photos of your hair and your hairstyles. So I think a lot of times us as hairstylists, we think that it only has to be about our clients and what we're doing in the salon. But a lot of times our clients and audience want to see photos of us and our hair and our hairstyles. So photos, videos, tutorials of you and your hairstyles could be amazing. This could be a fun way to hide your roots or change your style without having to get a haircut or color. This kind of content is amazing right now. So come up with some really fun ways to show that. This could be photos of your kids' hair, especially if your potential dream clients have kids. They're stuck at home. They want to find new ways to do their kids' hair. This could be a really great way to do that. This could be lifestyle photos. So often we think that our Instagram just has to be hair photos. It can't be photos of us. And so I want to encourage you to take this time to experiment a little bit and share some lifestyle photos. This could be you sitting on a couch, you homeschooling your kids, whatever that might look like. Family photos are great. Some stock photos. There's lots of great stock photo options out there, especially for us hairstylists. I have a membership that I offer called the Social Suite that has tons of stock photos. The doors aren't open right now, but if you want more information about it, you can go to thesocialsuiteforhairstylists.com. But stock photos are a really great way just to kind of add some personality into your feed and give you some different options. And product photos. So product photos you can still take at home. You don't have to just be in the salon. You could literally grab some products that you have in your shower, on your in your cabinets, and create your own product photos. Another thing could be regular and relatable content about how you're dealing with life being stuck at home. So this could be a selfie. This could be, again, you sitting on your couch, you hanging out in the backyard, you doing a different activity than maybe you would normally share on your hair page. But again, this is going to help your clients and audience get to know you. So share more of your everyday life and give your audience a little sneak peek into your life to get to know you more. I think so often we think that it just has to be, like I said, hair photos. And in fact, I've actually enjoyed scrolling through my Instagram feed, watching my Instagram stories, and have it be a little bit more lifestyle, seeing people's everyday lives, seeing their kids, seeing their partner, seeing their house, seeing what they're doing on a regular basis, their workout routines, their recipes that they're making. People enjoy seeing that stuff. And again, our clients come to us because we have a relationship with them and they're going to want to see that. So I just want to encourage you to get out of your little box of just hair photos and just salon photos and try something a little bit different in this time. Next thing would be create some videos. So this could be, again, styling tutorials on yourself, how to use certain products, like how to actually use dry shampoo correctly, because we all know people use it incorrectly all the time. This could be explaining certain things about hair products, like why hair gets greasy, why grocery store shampoo isn't amazing, tons of content ideas, how to prolong your style without having to wash it every day. This could be a really great one. Or how to add accessories to your style to prolong your grown out roots and haircut. And in fact, my friend Elise, Hair by Elm, did a really cute video showing how to cover your roots or your grown out bangs and encouraged her clients to wait to see her when she got back into the salon. So she did like a little one with like her cute hats and a beanie, and it's just kind of fun and easy. And so that could be a really fun, easy way to create some content without it having to always be so perfect. And lastly, it could be mannequin head videos or tutorials, especially for those of you who are educating other stylists. Use this opportunity to grab that mannequin head and start to create some tutorials on them. In fact, I've seen so many educators do this, and I think it's just really cool. So to wrap up this class workshop, I just want to remind you that it is so important to keep showing up. By adding valuable content to your page, not only are you supporting your clients, but also if a potential client stumbles on your page, they'll see your awesome content and how you're still active, still showing up, still adding value, and could possibly become a client after all of this whole thing is over. So I just want to encourage you that I know it's easy to fall back in and not post and feel like I'm not going to post because I feel awkward. But I hope that this gave you a little bit of an inspiration, a little motivation to encourage you to still show up for your clients, because ultimately the reason why we are hairstylists is to make our clients feel beautiful. And that's what we can still continue to do through our Instagram pages. So I just want to say thank you so much for tuning into this class. And I am so grateful that you watched it. And I honestly would love to connect with you. So if you would love to, after you've watched this class, go ahead and take a boomerang at some point or a photo of you watching. Tag me on your Instagram stories at Jamie Dana Hairstylist. Come over, send me a DM. I would love to connect with you. I also have a YouTube channel, just Jamie Dana on YouTube. And I seriously would love to connect with you and let me know that you saw this. So just wanted to say thank you. Stephanie, I don't know if you're still hanging out. I'm sure she's watching. There she is.
I'm still here.
I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick here. We'll pop back to both of us.
That was honestly amazing, Jamie. Like you
Thank
gave
you.
so many good steps of like, I mean, we started out, I started out asking you like, what do you think that hairstylists are struggling with right now? Like, what's the mood? And the mood is like confusion of like, hey, I don't know what to post, but you just gave like dozens and dozens of really practical ideas. I absolutely love it.
Thank you. Yeah. And I really hope that it's helpful too, because I think a lot of times it's easy to get stuck. It's easy to get frozen, and it's easy just to be like, I'm not going to do anything. And so that was my goal with this class, is just to re-inspire everyone, reinvigorate you, and to show you that you can still show up on Instagram really easily.
Yeah. And like when this all started, like when this storm hit us, I feel like a lot of us started to get into a panic of like, okay, well, everything's changed. So I just need to like step back a bit and like process this. And I think that that's so important. But then at a certain point, you need to start taking steps of like, okay, what do I do now? And the most important thing is just like to keep putting one foot in the other, in front of the other, and just taking action instead of just stepping back and or disappearing from Instagram in the case of social media, of just like showing up, and then you will start to figure it out as you get that momentum.
Totally. And one thing too to say that is, yeah, I'm definitely not like advocating like, okay, you got 30 days or 60 days, whatever, however long it ends up being, and you should just hustle the whole time. Like, I definitely believe that this is a great time for us, especially as us hardworking hairstylists who give so much to our clients on a daily basis and who have been giving so much for the last couple of weeks, to step back and take a break. I 100% believe that.
Yeah.
But we have a lot of time on our hands. And so what can we be doing to work on our businesses while we're not able to work in them? And so Instagram is one thing that tends to get put off, or, oh, I'll work on that later, or I'll do it later. And so now it's like, you have this time, like utilize it. And how can you be working to batch out your content so that you have it for the next couple of months? Like, just be thinking of really creative ways to do that and really utilize this time. I just want to encourage everyone out there to do that.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, Jamie. So guys, if you want to check out Jamie, she gave her Instagram, Jamie Dana Hairstylist, and she's also got an amazing YouTube channel. You come out with weekly videos for marketing, tutorials, that kind of thing. So go and check her out. She's amazing. Thank you again, Jamie. I loved everything that you shared, and I know that everyone's going to appreciate it so much too.
Yay. Well, thanks so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Okay, talk to you very soon.
Bye.